Welcome students to today's e-learning session. The title of today's e-learning session unit is Morphology of Angiosperm. Module name is Inflorescence Type and module number is 16. I am Harshala Ghat, Assistant Professor, St. Xavier's College, Mapsa, Goa. To give you all outline about this today's module, we will be defining or providing definition of inflorescence, characteristic of inflorescence and types of inflorescence. The learning outcome of this module will be, you all will learn to define inflorescence and its types. You all will learn to identify the types of inflorescence and differentiate types of inflorescence. Inflorescence is arrangement of flowers on floral axis on the plant. Flowers may either occur singly or may be organized into a distinct inflorescence. When the flower is found occurring singly, it may be basically positioned at the terminal apex or in the axil of the leaf. When it occurs at the terminal position, it is called as solitary terminal, and when it is found in the axil, it is called as solitary axillary. There are two principal types of inflorescence. One is racemose, the other one is cymose. Racemose inflorescence, in which the inflorescence axis is of indeterminate growth. Apical bud continues to grow, thus bearing oldest flower towards the base and the youngest flower towards the apex. Whereas in case of cymose inflorescence, the inflorescence axis is of determinate growth, terminated by formation of flower. The oldest flower is either in the center or terminal, and the youngest flower are found at the base of the terminal flower. When it comes to racemose types of inflorescence, they are further classified into various types, and we will look into these different types of racemose inflorescence. We have raceme. In case of raceme inflorescence, the inflorescence axis is unbranched, bearing flowers on distinct pedicel. Example you all can see in case of Caesalpinia, where the older flowers are at the base and younger flowers are at the apex, and they are distinctly pedicelled. Coming to the next type, that is panicle. Panicle is a branch raceme with flowers borne on racemes, and these racemes are found growing on the main axis. Here you all can see the example of the panicle type of inflorescence in case of Lageristomia. Coming to the next type, that is spike. In spike inflorescence, sessile flowers are borne on an unbranched inflorescence axis. Again the arrangement remains same, that is the older flower are at the base and younger flowers are found at the apex. The next type is spadix. In spadic inflorescence, sessile flowers are borne on an unbranched fleshy inflorescence axis, and this axis is covered by a large bract called spathe. In most of the cases, the spathe is colored and does the function of attracting pollinators. Moving to the next type, that is corymb inflorescence. In corymb inflorescence, it is a flat top racemose inflorescence with longer lower pedicels and shorter upper pedicel flowers, so that all flowers reach the same level. This type of inflorescence can be seen in case of Iberis species. The next type is catkin. Catkin is similar to the spike inflorescence, but in this case again the inflorescence axis is unbranched, flowers are much reduced and unisexual. So the difference between spike and catkin lies in the flower size, and here the flowers are unisexual, whereas in spike the flowers are bisexual. In case of umbel inflorescence, flowers arise from one point due to the condensation of inflorescence axis with the oldest flower towards the periphery and the youngest flower towards the center. This is one example of the inflorescence which is found in the case of Allium cepa and Allium sativum. And the last under racemose is a capitulum. A capitulum inflorescence is a flat top inflorescence like a head inflorescence with a distinct ray florets and disc florets surrounded by involucral bracts. Now in case of capitulum, in certain species of Asteraceae, you find the capitulum bearing only disc floret on the central disc. So this is a characteristic of family Asteraceae, and most of the species shows capitulum type of inflorescence. Coming to the cymose type, under cymose type, depending on the number of branches arising at the base of terminal flower, they are further classified into three types: monocacial cyme, dicacial cyme and polycacial cyme. In monocacial cyme, a single lateral branch arises from the peduncle of the terminal flower. The lateral branch also terminates into a flower. Depending on the arrangement of the flower on the lateral branch, it is further classified as helicoid type and scorpioid type. In helicoid type, the lateral branch arise from the terminal flower, each forming one flower, and all the flowers are borne on the same side of the main axis. This type of inflorescence can be distinctly seen in the case of genus Heliotropium. Coming to the next type under the monocacial cyme is a scorpioid cyme. In this, the lateral branch arising from the terminal flower, where each branch forms one flower and all the branches are borne on alternate sides of the main axis. This type of inflorescence is seen mostly in the genus Solanum, and I have cited one example of the same genus in the slide. Coming to the dicacial cyme, in case of dicacial cyme, the peduncle bears a terminal flower from base of which arises two lateral branches, each terminating into one flower. In case of polycacial cyme, more than two branches arises from the base of terminal flower, so that a broad inflorescence of several flowers is formed. This can be seen in case of genus Calotropis. Coming to the specialized types of inflorescence, we have Cythium. A Cythium inflorescence has a cup-shaped involucre, usually carrying nectaries on the rims of the involucre, enclosing numerous male flowers which surround one single female flower in the center. This is again a characteristic of family Euphorbiaceae. The next specialized type is a verticillester. In case of verticillester inflorescence, each node of inflorescence bears two opposite clusters of dicacial cyme. Due to condensation of floral axis, the flowers of different ages appears to form a false whorl or a verticillester. This is again a characteristic of family Lamiaceae, and I have cited here example of Ocimum tenuiflorum. Coming to the last specialized type of inflorescence, that is Hypanthodium. Hypanthodium comprises of a fleshy receptacle which forms a hollow pear-shaped cavity with a small narrow opening at the tip. The flowers are borne on the inner wall of the cavity and mostly unisexual. The male flowers are borne on the upper side of the pear-shaped cavity, whereas the female flowers are borne at the base of the cavity.